For decades, if you looked at a map of the tech world, it was pretty simple. There was a giant pin stuck right over Silicon Valley. Well, that map is being completely redrawn right now, as we speak. So let's dive into this great rebalancing and see how the world is building a tech future on its own terms. This quote, I think, just nails it. For the longest time, the future was being written and coded in one language. But 2025, that really was a turning point. It was the moment the rest of the world decided to stop waiting for a translation and just start writing its own story. And that whole story, it really starts with the foundation of modern tech, AI. We're seeing this global push for what you could call linguistic sovereignty. It's this idea that countries are building AI that actually gets them, their unique cultures, their local dialects, and all their different languages. I mean, just take a look at Switzerland's Apertus model. This isn't just about covering the big common languages. We're talking over 1,000 languages with a real focus on the ones that often get left behind, like Swiss German and Romansh. That is a massive statement about making AI inclusive for everyone. And you have India. With its incredible diversity of languages, a one-size-fits-all model was just never, ever going to work. So the government-backed by Shini platform has helped create over 350 different AI models. And they cover everything, from the 22 official languages all the way to tribal dialects like Santali and Mundari. But here's the thing. It's not just a story about national projects. It's also a story of massive global collaboration. You have projects like Cohere's Aya Expanse, which brought together something like 3,000 researchers from 119 countries, all to build a model that actually reflects the world we live in.
And you can just see the pattern emerging all over the globe, from Latin America collaborating to preserve indigenous languages, to Africa building ultra-efficient models like Google NotebookLM. And then look at South Korea's Hyperclova X. It was trained on 6,500 times more Korean data than GPT-4. The main takeaway here is clear. Nations are building AI that serves their own people in their own language.
Okay, so this great rebalancing goes way beyond just language. It's actually changing the very architecture of our digital lives. We're seeing entire online ecosystems that are evolving on a completely different path from what we're used to in the West. And right at the heart of this big split is the super app. So what is it? Well, think of it as a single app on your phone that's a portal to, well, everything. You can chat with friends, pay your bills, order dinner, book a ride, shop for clothes, you name it. It's your entire digital life all in one place. And just look at the growth. I mean, wow. While this model is definitely catching on everywhere, its real center of gravity is in the Asia-Pacific region, the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America. These places aren't just adopting this model, they are driving its growth, with projected annual rates hitting as high as 30%. This really shows a major fork in the road, digitally speaking. In the West, we're used to a world of endless separate apps, right? Each one with its own login, its own payment info. The super app model, which is dominant everywhere else, is the total opposite. One seamless, integrated ecosystem. They're just two fundamentally different ways to think about living online. So, this locally built technology isn't just some abstract thing for city life. It's actually being used to solve some of humanity's oldest and biggest challenges. Let's take a look at how this localized AI is transforming a sector that matters to every single one of us: agriculture. The classic journey from a farm to your dinner table is, let's be honest, complicated. And it's often super inefficient, with chances for waste at every single step along the way. This is the chain that AI is now starting to fix, piece by piece. It all starts before a single seed even goes in the ground. AI algorithms can crunch massive amounts of data, everything from sales history to weather patterns, to predict what people will want to buy. This helps farmers avoid growing too much of something, and it often connects them directly to buyers, cutting out the middlemen. So next up is getting that food to the market. AI is completely changing the logistics game. By analyzing real-time traffic, weather, everything, it can map out the absolute best delivery route. That means less fuel, lower costs, and, this is critical, less spoilage for fresh food. And finally, it's about quality and safety for you, the person eating the food. AI-powered cameras can sort produce for ripeness way faster and more accurately than a human ever could. And when you pair that with tech like blockchain, you get perfect traceability. You know exactly where your food came from. Okay, so we've got sovereign AI and different digital platforms. The third major piece of this whole rebalancing puzzle is regulation. As countries build their own technology, they're also building, in a way, digital borders by writing their own rules for data and for privacy. The EU's GDPR in 2018 was basically this starting gun for this. And this timeline just shows the result. A complete explosion of similar but importantly distinct data protection laws all over the world, from Brazil and China to India and Saudi Arabia. The world is quickly moving away from a single set of rules.
And when you look at AI specifically, you can really see different philosophies taking shape. You have some, like the EU and China, that are taking this big top-down approach. Then you have others, like the US and UK, going for a more sector-by-sector emerging framework. And tons of others are still developing their own unique strategies. There's absolutely no global consensus here.
So, why does any of this actually matter? Well, because this whole rebalancing of technology and platforms and rules, it's not just an academic exercise. It is creating a completely new economic and investment landscape with brand new centers of gravity for growth and innovation. And here's the bottom line. The financial world is paying very close attention. Goldman Sachs Research, for example, is forecasting a total return of around 16% for emerging market stocks in 2026. Why? Because they're being driven by these exact kinds of homegrown, resilient technology stories. The economic power is shifting right along with the tech.
Which leaves us with this one final, really critical question. For a long, long time, we all kind of knew where to look for the next big thing. But as that old tech world fractures and rebuilds itself along these new sovereign lines, the answer is just not that simple anymore. It could truly come from anywhere.